We know some centers are going to try to get up to speed with FireNet in 2019, so we wanted to provide some guidance for you to do that. So to start, we are on the FireNet website here, and I'll show you how I got here. So to start, we go to www.firenet.gov, and we're going to go to the FireNet portal. From here, I'm just going to come up to information, and I'm going to go to Dispatch Center Setup. So this page will walk you through all the steps in getting your center set up. So to start, just a note that the FireNet accounts for the centers may be set up differently than what you're used to. So accounts are not shared between users logging in. So the way FireNet is set up is that there may be a steward, or there will be a steward for your main center account, and then that account can be delegated out to other FireNet users. So you can access the same inbox to do business, but you're not actually logging into the account. And that's something different than what you're used to. So I just wanted to go ahead and note that as we get started. So to start, the center manager or another dispatcher that's been delegated needs to reach out to FireNet_support@firenet.gov if you do not already have access to your center's FireNet account tracking spreadsheet. That one person that's kind of designated as the person managing the FireNet accounts for your center will reach out, and we'll make sure we give you access to that spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you what that spreadsheet looks like. So the spreadsheet will look something like this, maybe slightly different if your center has already updated their information. So to start, in this first section, you're just going to go ahead and start to list your you're going to list your center manager, you're going to list your assistant, your dispatchers. So this is your regular staff that you're going to list here. And you can track if they have if the FireNet account has been created. These folks are usually federal employees for your regular staff. So they just need to fill out the FireNet access form, and there's a link over here to help keep it handy. And I can also show you, it's also linked on the web page that we're looking at right now. So those federal folks just need to complete the FireNet access form. And on that form, what they fill out, they'll note that they are part of your dispatch center. Next up is expanded dispatch. And I guess I should add that on this first row here, this is where you'll put the who the steward is. So this would be your 5-unit identifier, letters here, and if the center manager, for example, is going to be the main steward for that account, we would put their information here. And then if they would also like a named account, they would include that information here. And the same goes for expanded. So most centers last year set up with one main expanded account to start. And the naming convention for that is the 5 letters here, _expanded@firenet.gov. And you'll also need a steward for this account. So depending on how you're set up, we don't recommend that one person acts as the steward for everything, because it ends up being a lot of accounts to log into. So if you want to delegate a little bit and have somebody else go ahead and manage and be the steward, that's a great option as well. So the way centers have set up is the main expanded account. And what we need to do is we need to update information for users that are going to be using additional expanded accounts. So those additional expanded accounts, for example, are expanded 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06. And these are just accounts that you can ask us to generate, and they're recycled. So depending who's in your center for 2 weeks, for example, they may be using expanded 01. So you need to track that information. But what we need to do first, excuse me, is make sure that those folks have been approved to use those accounts. So if John Doe shows up at your center, you cannot just give him a FireNet account to use. He has to be approved to use a FireNet account. So what you can do here is if you have some regular ADs that come in and help you and expanded, for example, you can just start to put their information down. So say, oh, I know those 4 folks, they've come back every year for the last 3 years. Well, let's go ahead and start tracking. So we're gonna put their information down, and then we're gonna track if their security training has been submitted and they've been sponsored, and then if they've been approved for an account. So let's jump back to our website. And there's also links here. So there's a link to the FireNet access form and affiliate requirements. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible with links in both places to get you where you need to go. So I'm going to come back to where it links me to. So over here, I have for step 3. So we basically, in that sheet, we've already gone through step 2, which is having those federal folks fill out the FireNet access form. And then step 3, how our affiliates go ahead and get an account. So our affiliates, for example, they could be regular dispatchers, but a lot of times there are folks in expanded. So the affiliate account request page, which you can get to from the top navigation anyways, requesting a FireNet account. And these are folks that don't have a PIV card. So they need to, 1, fill out the FireNet access form, just like our regular federal employees had to do. Secondly, they need to do this online security training course. And from that course, they're going to get a certification. So they need to send that certification to you, the person setting up the dispatch center's accounts. And you will act as a sponsor. So I'm going to go to the affiliate sponsor page. So basically all this does is it helps you out. So there's actually an example here that you could cut and paste. So you just need to send an email to firenet_admin@firenet.gov. And you need to say Jane Doe is an ID that works in expanded dispatch in the Northern Rockies. This is an individual account is not needed. Jane will be filling a role-based account. So she's going to be snagging one of those role-based accounts for 2 weeks. There's no need for a named account. Based on the cost of accounts, it doesn't make sense, and we just recycle through them. So that email is sent with an attachment of the certification. If there's immediate need, we do like if you put something in the subject line like, hey, we just expanded and there's an immediate need, or just let us know if there is an emergency need. But the goal is to get as many of these filled out as possible in advance, so you can make sure that some of your folks are up and approved and ready to go in the start of the season. All right, so then down here, so then tracking the role-based accounts, you're gonna just put first name, last name, and then when they had the account. So let's jump back to the web page. So that's our spreadsheet that's going to be updated. And then we'll just go back to the website. And where was I? I was under information, dispatch center setup. And this is where this video is going to be. So just to review the different types of account in your dispatch center. So we talked about the main center role-based account. So this is your 5 letters at firenet.gov. This is the main account and you can then delegate this account out to other folks in your center if you want them to get to the inbox. Individual accounts, this is first name _ last name. The main expanded role-based accounts, a lot of centers set up with one main expanded account, and then they delegated that inbox out to their 01, 02, so their expanded role-based accounts. And what this did is this allows all the expanded folks are doing business from one inbox. So they weren't necessarily doing business from their 01, 02, 03, but from the main expanded account, because when you delegate that, it gives you that option. So that's the way a lot of centers were set up. All of these accounts I'm kind of explaining the different types of accounts, but they're all really the same, essentially. So the back end of them isn't any different. Just kind of why you need them or how they're used is a little bit different. Hopefully that makes sense. So I talked about expanding the center. And again, if you need to expand, you could email FireNet_support@firenet.gov and you'll get somebody there to work with to help you expand. And then lastly, contributor accounts. So if, for example, you have, this could happen for your regular staff or even expanded. So if you had a Bison Connect person, so if there's a BLM center, you can add them to your team drive, for example, in your center. You cannot delegate an account out. So in that case, the person would need a FireNet account. But if you want to learn more about how to get any of those contributor accounts into your system, as far as team drive and sharing and collaborating goes, you can visit the contributor account page. And there's a link here to help you how to learn information on how to get them in the system. Pretty much you just need to add them to your team drive and then make it so their things are accessible. Lastly, delegating an inbox. I've talked a lot about how we don't share passwords and login information, but that you can just delegate an inbox. So for example, if I log into my named account, I can go ahead and access FireNet_admin. I don't have that login information. I can just access it because it's been delegated to me. So this is a great video that walks you through the simple delegation process. So that is a quick summary of how to get your center up to speed. So if you are just getting started, go ahead and reach out to FireNet_support@firenet.gov and we'll give you access to your spreadsheet so you can start to get that updated. Hope you have a great day.